Hello, darlings. Hello, honey. This is Miss Karen with the Open Book, honey. It is the place where I get to share all of me with all of you. And today, honey, we are talking about Kandi Burruss, Todd Tucker, and the OLG restaurant, which stands for the Old Lady Gang, located in downtown Atlanta. Don't forget to share the video, like, subscribe, and of course comment, because in the words of the good old Golden Girls, honey, thank you for being a friend. Now, before we get to talking about the big issue, which is the big issue is that she got a health code violation, honey. Health code. Like, I'm so surprised by this, considering the level of standards that Kandi maintains. But before I get into all of that, I have to give you all the backstory so people that don't watch the show, that may not know what's going on, I have to get you up to speed. Okay, so we're going to swipe, honey, and let us start. Let's get the good old tea, honey. So the first thing is that the Old Lady Gang, which I didn't know until I started doing my research, the restaurant was actually Todd's dream. That was Kandi's husband. That was his dream to have the restaurant. Kandi wanted to be supportive of her husband, and they worked to get the restaurant off the ground, which kind of explains why in the show she allowed Todd to really make many, if not all, of the design decisions, because typically that would be a woman deciding, decor and fabric and everything else, artwork. She let Todd take the reins, and it clearly is his baby. So thank you for that bit of information. So the restaurant was supposed to open back in February of last year, but because of permitting issues, because of just time constraints and everything else, the restaurant didn't open for an extra 8 months to a year after it was scheduled to open. So she gets all of that squared away. There was a report, honey, from straightfromthetea.com. Thank you for this tea, honey, because I didn't know this bit of tea until I started to do my research. That during this process, allegedly now, Kandi was responsible for stiffing two contractors, saying that they had not been paid. One was a carpenter who was owed over $16,000. The other was an HVAC contractor, and he was owed over $5,000. So the gentleman who was owed $16,000, $16,512 to be exact, his name is Mr. Busby. He actually put a lien on the restaurant, I believe, because he wasn't paid. It says here, I have spoken with you. These are supposedly Mr. Busby's words. I have spoken with you on numerous occasions since you wrote the 3 checks, and I have received only empty promises to match my empty pockets. So he supposedly files a lien. The total liens for both of the gentlemen came to $21,878. At that time, Kandi tweeted on October 19th of last year, today has been so stressful. This restaurant is going to drive me crazy, and it's not even open yet. Now, I don't know how true any of this is. What I can say is that, from what I know about Kandi, and I don't know a lot, Kandi takes care of her finances. So I'm going to think that, give her the benefit of the doubt and say that perhaps there was some miscommunication, because with as much coinage as Kandi has, because she's had money forever and a day, okay, and in fact she has the most money out of all of the housewives, okay, of Atlanta. So I don't think there was a financial issue. So why these people were not paid their coins, honey, I don't know. But I'm going to give Kandi the benefit of the doubt and say that whatever the issue was, by now I'm sure that it is straightened out. The Old Lady Game goes ahead and opens, I think, in either late March, early April in downtown Atlanta. And I looked up the reviews. Out of a scale of 5, the reviews are 3.8, which, is fairly good. The the reviews have kind of been mixed. People are saying that the downstairs area isn't set up to welcome people. Now, I personally, I want to go on record and say I have not been to the Old Lady Gang restaurant, even though I live here in Atlanta. I have not been there only because I don't like going downtown because the traffic is crazy and the parking is crazy, which is a complaint of people as well. Okay, so they said the downstairs area is not set up to welcome guests. They said the dining area on the main floor is small. They have said that the greens were too sweet. I don't personally care about that because I don't eat greens anyway. I don't like greens. Um, they have some people said the food has been really delicious and they love it. Zagat gave her a really good review. Some people said that the first order of cornbread is free, but the second order you have to pay for. Parking is $10. So the reviews have kind of been mixed. Well, honey, all that may be true, untrue, this, that, and the other, and all that may make no difference at all. However, when it comes to having a health code violation, you can't get around that because the health code inspectors are not there to pick a side. They're there to inspect the property, do a job, write the report, and give the true tea as to what is there. So, according to the tea that I am reading out here, and this is coming from radaronline.com, so thank you for that tea, honey. It says that the Old Lady Gang restaurant received a shockingly low 78 out of 100 score during an inspection on August 24th, 2017. The restaurant was dinged for not having adequate hand washing facilities supplied and accessible, and was flagged in red on the Georgia Department of Public Health website with the description: red indicates this violation is a known risk factor for foodborne illnesses. Okay? It also says that they received a violation for no soap or paper towels located at hand washing sink, and observed soil builds up inside ice bin. The inspector flagged the restaurant for potentially hazardous food cold held at greater than 41 degrees Fahrenheit, and also observed employees with no hair restraints, which means no hair nets. The health inspector noted Burress's other violations as being wet wiping cloth, not stored in sanitizing solution between uses, and cutting board is grooved and pitted and no longer cleanable, meaning that they would take a towel, wipe something down, and instead of putting it in a solution of water, they would, I guess, wipe it, put the rag to the side, and when something else spills, take the same rag, honey, pull it out, and wipe something else and throw it away, honey. And the health code inspector said that is a violation and no go. Also, the cutting board that they were using needs to be tossed out. It can no longer be cleaned or repaired. Toss it out and get a new one. The examiner then returns 5 days later on August 29th, and Burris had cleaned up her act, but still had two violations, including cold and hot food that was not stored at the proper temperature, but the inspector noted the problem had been corrected on site. Now, it says here that the JasmineBrand.com, again, that's the JasmineBrand.com, was the first to report the story. It also says that the Old Lady Gang received 3.5 stars on Yelp, with one reviewer visiting 3 days before the inspection and noting that she waited 3 hours to be seated. The customer service was below average, and I wasn't impressed with the food. The collards were too sweet and too salty, and the chicken tasted like old grease. And that is a direct quote from them. Now, like I said, I personally have not been to the Old Lady Gang here in Atlanta because, you know, if you have gone to any type of club, restaurant, any type of business in the downtown area, you know that parking can be an absolute nightmare. And, you know, I don't have time to be throwing my money away on parking expenses. Not that I would not want to support the restaurant, because I do, and at some point I'm going to make my journey downtown because I have to see this restaurant for myself. I'm a huge fan of Kandi, so Kandi, this is no shade. I don't make the news, I just report it because, you know, Kandi is infamous, honey, for sending out a cease and desist, okay, girl, and we'll sue the girls, honey. Don't come for me, girl. I don't have nothing for you. I'm not making up anything. I'm only reporting what I am finding in my research. I have not experienced anything for myself. However, when I do come to the OLG restaurant, hopefully one of the ladies will be there to, come around, Miss Bertha or whomever, Mama Joyce and your other lovely aunt to come around and greet, honey, so I can get a picture. I will definitely be doing a review on the restaurant myself. And on the food, I am a huge fan of macaroni and cheese and fried chicken and candy yams. And I don't know if you serve all of that, honey, but that is what I will be coming to look for. What I do know about Kandi is Kandi is big on her business. Kandi is big on her image. Kandi is big on her coins, and she will not take this 78 out of 100 lying down. So Kandi, girl, you've got to get to work and improve this restaurant. These seem like minor changes. I mean, they didn't say that there were bugs or roaches or rat droppings or anything like that. They're just some tiny little modifications that need to be made to the restaurant so that you can get that score up. That score needs to be over 90. Okay, over 90. So if you're at a 78, honey, that is a C. And in my family, honey, C's are unacceptable. And honey, my family, girl, you got your ass kicked for C's. Okay, so Kandi, I think you may need to come down, be a little bit more hands-on, find out what's going on. People have, complained about service. I'm a huge service-oriented person, so you may want to do some coaching and development of your staff so that you can have the restaurant of your dreams and of Todd's dreams, because 7800 is completely unacceptable. Hello. And I will be doing a review of my own, honey, and I will be going live in your restaurant, honey, and giving the true tea so that people can see it for themselves. Okay? So this is Miss Karen with the Open Book, honey. I'm going to get out of here, and I will talk to you lovely people later. Remember to love yourself, love each other, give more than you receive, and always do everything that you can to be the best possible you that you can be. Hugs and kisses. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.